had a little bit of a scare there. I don't have a video camera. All of my videos that I do on a phone. It's apparently it's an iPhone, but I don't have it set up connected to any kind of carrier. I'm driving in the car if you couldn't tell. No, a very dear friend of mine gave me her old iPhone because they upgraded, and she gave it to me because I wanted to be able to do this one particular app on the internet called Ibotta. And if you don't know about it, you can check into it. It's too hard for me really to explain, but it's where you get money back from shopping, and it's really been pretty good. I got almost $80 back in about 6 months, and it's just from buying things I ordinarily would buy at the grocery store. But anyway, I was telling my really good friend about it, and I said, but the bad thing is you can't just use it on the computer. You have to have an iPhone, and I don't have one. And so she, a week or so later, she gave me this phone and said we had just thrown it in a drawer because it wasn't working, and so we upgraded and got a different phone. But my son was able to get it working, and you can try to get that app. And so I did, and then I realized, hey, this thing has a camera in it, and I think it takes fairly decent video, I mean, for being just a phone. But we don't have any use for a cell phone, using it as a cell phone. We have a different cell phone that I use for calling, so I never connected this to any kind of a carrier. But anyway, I got in the car to video this, and I pushed the play button, and I don't know if it was just froze up or what happened, but I couldn't get it to do anything. And I thought, oh no, what am I gonna do? It's my only camera. I have so many videos I want to do before Christmas. So I ended up just shutting the phone off, or camera. I call it a camera. My husband calls it a phone, and he teases me because you've got an iPhone and I don't. And I'm like, it's not an iPhone, it's a camera. I just use it as I use it as a camera, so it's a camera. Anyway, so I just shut it off and restarted it, and whoo, the video worked. I don't know. I'm not tech savvy at all, so if it had gotten broken and refused to work, I guess my YouTube days would be over for a while. But Scott told me these old iPhones, I don't know, I think this is a 5, or I don't even know. I'm not even gonna guess because I have no clue. I have no clue what this is, what this phone is. But he said you can find them pretty cheap on eBay and Craigslist and stuff like that, because people upgrade and they don't want their old phones anymore. So anyway, all of that huge 3-minute introduction. We are going to town, and I thought I would chit chat for a little bit as we drive. I don't know how safe this is. I don't even know if it's that legal, but I've got both hands on the steering wheel and my eyes are on the road, so I think it'll be alright. But anyway, I just wanted to update you a little bit on Scott. I had said in my video yesterday, I explained about what was going on with him. He went to work today. Woohoo! And he emailed me from work this morning and said, so far, so good. He's doing okay. The pain medicine and the muscle relaxers are doing what they're supposed to do, but it's just a matter of healing. It's going to take time to heal, and he just can't re-injure himself. And he does have to lift somewhat heavy things, not every day. And I think I'm not sure how the heaviest thing is that he lifts, but I told him he should be very careful. And if he needs to lift something really heavy, maybe grab somebody to help him or something. I don't know if he's able to do that, but the last thing he needs to do at this point is re-injure that when it's not even healed yet. Or he will be off work for a long time, and we certainly cannot afford that. And as far as the money issue goes, I think that our church might help us out a little bit with some of the lost income. They have a fund, it's called the Deacons Fund, where they take money and set it aside for special needs in the church and in the community. If people are really in need, they'll help them out. So our pastor knows what's going on, so maybe they'll help us out a little bit. And as far as the medical bills go, they'll just have to get paid when they get paid. I don't have a bunch of money laying around to just pay them off, and I will pay it eventually, but they're just going to have to wait their turn, because my family, the house over our head and or the roof over our head, our house isn't over our head, our roof over our head and food on the table is more important than paying those medical bills off in a hurry. At least in our area where we live, the policy of the hospitals is that you should pay your bill off within 6 months, and it doesn't matter how big the bill is. They want it paid off within 6 months, or they send the bill to collections. And it doesn't matter if you're paying every month or every week or whatever you set up and agree to pay. If you don't get it paid off within 6 months, they send you to collections. And basically it doesn't change anything. You don't pay interest on it. It doesn't affect your credit score. They just send it to somewhere else. And basically you just send your check to a different address. So I remember one time years ago, I had racked up a huge medical expenses because of my irritable bowel, trying to diagnose it, figure out what was wrong. And you know, those tests they make you do are so expensive. And so we did have pretty good insurance at that time, and it did pay a lot of it. But when you're talking several $1,000 and you're responsible for 20% of that, because that's basically how most insurances are. They'll pay 80%, you pay 20%. And at that time our children were really little, and so you know, it's hard. It's really hard with a young couple struggling with little kids to pay off even a couple of $1,000s worth of debt. And they started harassing me with phone calls. And I'm paid every month. I made a payment every single month to the doctors. More than one, because you do one procedure and you'll get 6 different bills from different places. And so I was sending out checks every week to pay off of pay doctor bills. And so it got close to the 6-month mark, and I didn't have it paid off, and there was no way I was going to get it paid off in 6 months. They started calling me and harassing me about it. And the one time, I'll never forget, the one girl, she called and she's like, well, you need to get this paid off. You only have like 2 months. If you don't get it paid off in 2 months, we're going to have to send this to collections. And I just said, I don't care. And she's like, what? I said, I don't care. Send it to collections. I said, it doesn't affect anything. I just send my check somewhere else. And she's flabbergasted. I'll never forget that. I will never forget how flabbergasted she was that I told her I didn't care if she sent my bill to collections. The people at the collections agency are a whole lot nicer than the people in the billing department at the hospital. They are. And I got to the point where I was like on a first name basis with the lady at the collections place. Oh. She was really nice. Her name was Betty. I liked her. It's like, I don't care. Send my bill to Betty. I'll pay it. She won't harass me. So anyway, that's a little bit of an update on Scott. And I'm in a little bit better frame of mind now because we're like almost 100% sure that it was nothing serious other than just a pinched nerve, which can be very aggravating and very painful, but it's not debilitating, like permanently debilitating usually, and it's not deadly, won't kill him, which I'm, because they tell you these things, like, well, you need to get a brain MRI, and your mind goes to the worst possible scenario, at least mine always does, and I'm thinking, laying there Monday night thinking, what if he has brain cancer? Because my mother died of cancer, my dad has prostate cancer, and I'm like, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he hasn't had brain cancer. Because the way the doctor, he scared me. He really did, and I don't appreciate that at all. If I ever get a chance to tell him, I'm going to. So, anyway, that's that. And then a little update on Lucy. She's doing a lot better. I took her out yesterday to go potty, and I put all 4 of her legs under her, got her like set steady, and she was able to stand and on her own. I didn't have to hold her. And then she actually squatted to go pee and then stood back up. And then she tried to take a step, and she got really wobbly and sat down. But that is, oh my goodness, that is so much better than she was 2 weeks ago. She literally had to scoot everywhere. It wasn't even, the first few days she wasn't able to move at all. And then when she started to try to move, all she could do was just drag her bottom end around the house. So it looks as though the medication is working on her as well, and she won't be paralyzed. Woohoo! We just have to keep her down for a long time yet. She has to stay calm and in her pen and not running around, because those nerve endings and stuff in there are so sensitive, and the least little bit of inflammation and she'll be right back where she was. And we're almost out of prednisone, so if she needs more, she'll have to go to the vet. And there's another $200, because the office visits they're at least $75 just to walk in the door. So, anyway, we don't need that right now, that's for sure. And I was telling the kids, as far as the whining and the barking and stuff goes, she's still pretty bad about that. Although we found that if we cover her cage with a blanket when we're in the kitchen and she can't see what's going on, she's a bit better. She'll still whine, but she isn't in there barking incessantly, which is, it's like a baby crying and you cannot calm them or figure out what's wrong, and they just cry and cry and cry and cry and cry. It just gets on your nerves after a while. I told the kids that having Lucy like this is like, it's seriously like having another newborn in the house, because she barks when she's hungry, cries when she's hungry, she cries when she has to go potty. We have to change her. She'll sometimes will pee in her cage, and we've got those bed pads down, or like the puppy pad things down, so it doesn't damage any of our flooring. And so it was like we have to change her diaper, and it's not literally a diaper, she's not wearing a diaper, but you know what I mean. We have to change all of her bedding and change those puppy pads and all of that, and we have to take her outside a zillion times a day, and then sometimes she just whines and cries and cries and whines, and we don't know what her problem is, just like a newborn. I told Lucy this morning, it's like, you know what, Lucy, I had 2 newborns already, and I had you as a puppy. I said, don't need another newborn in the house. So, anyways, I'm going to town. We don't have a lot of money right now, but There are a few things that I absolutely have to get that I didn't get last week in my big grocery haul. I was trying to save money last week because we had a short paycheck because of Thanksgiving, and I thought, well, I'll wait until this week when we have a full paycheck to go back and get those few items that I didn't pick up. Unbeknownst to me that my husband was going to lose 3 days of work, so next paycheck is going to be very small. But like I said, our pastor and our church might help us out a little bit. So we'll see about that. Alright guys, I rambled on here for 15 minutes already. And so I'll get off of here, and if I pick up anything interesting at the store, I will share it to you when I get home. So I'll see you when I get home. I'm back, and you can hear Lucy barking in the background. She's fine. I just checked on her. Oh my goodness, it's windy out there. Look at my hair. It was snowing on and off the whole time I was gone, which was kind of festive. I don't know. The roads were still clear, so I didn't care. I didn't get much of anything exciting at Walmart. I picked up some dog food. That's the main reason why I had to go. And I picked up some olive oil because we are not going to make it to Costco again this month because of the short pay. And I stopped at a thrift store though, and I was looking for something specific, and I didn't find quite what I wanted, but I did find something that I think will work. And I picked up a couple of other things, and I spent a whole $5. So I'll show you what I got at the thrift store. Let me turn this camera around. First thing I picked up was this wicker tray. This is for a project that I'm going to be working on that I am not going to share with you yet, but I will share with you in I don't know when, probably in the next week or so. And this is what I picked up that wasn't exactly what I wanted, but I think it will work, and I liked it well enough. And it was $1.95. And then I picked up a couple of glass bowls. I really like glass. I'm starting to really get into glass a lot. And one bowl I picked up was some white milk glass, which I'm starting to really get to the point where I really like milk glass. And it's got this beautiful gold edging all the way around the edge of it. And it's got fruit on the side, and it's just really, really pretty. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to use it for, but I will find a use for it, I'm sure. And I paid $2 for it. And then the last thing I got was another glass bowl. I'm really into milk glass. I'm starting to get into milk glass, but I'm very particular. There's so much milk glass out there, and I'm not just going to buy it for the sake of buying it. It has to be something that really catches my eye and that I really, really like. And that's what this bowl was. And then I also like green glass. This is the third green glass bowl I've bought in the last few months of varying sizes. And this has like a, what do you call it? A wicker weave pattern on it. And I paid $2 for this one as well. So I just really thought it was very beautiful, and they're in perfect condition. Alright, so that's my big purchases today, $5, and then some dog food and a couple of other odds and ends at Walmart that were not interesting to show you. Alright, I am going to get some lunch. I'm starving. This is my lunch today. It's just leftover pasta with broccoli and sausage that we had for dinner last night. So I'm going to go eat this, and then I'm going to have to go outside again, because when I got home I checked on a couple of my chickens, and I think their water is frozen. They have a heat light, but I just don't think it's warm enough for as cold as it is. I'm going to see if I can't rig up more than one heat light and get their water thawed. Oh, this is what I hate about winter. Okay friends, I think I'm going to close this vlog out here. I chatted so long this morning that I don't really want to make this video any longer than it already is. I'm just going to have to call this my chatty vlog. Just as an update, yes indeed, the water for Virginia and for Half Pint was frozen. They had a heat light in there, but it was just one heat light and it wasn't over the waterers. So I had a second heat light. I rigged that up, and I thawed out their water, so now they've got water. And yeah, this is the first really cold day we've had yet this season, which is pretty fortunate actually for being December 8th. Usually we have a lot colder weather than this by now, so I can't complain too much. But I hope this is not a foreboding of the next few months to come, because I just forget every year. I forget how horrible it is to walk out and every single thing is frozen, and you have to haul buckets of water, and you have to pound ice out of water pans. It's just no fun at all. But anyway, that's part of the country life and owning animals, so got to take the good with the bad. Alright friends, I'm going to let you go, because like I said, this is my chatty vlog, and I've chatted long enough. We'll talk to you later. Bye friends.